Okay, hello Instagram, and we are live. I apologize for being so late. Um, I had a phone call that I had to get done today, and my training class, went a little over. So, talking about self-mastery, here I am. So my name is Kaii. If you are new to my platform, welcome. This is a space where you really learn the value of prioritizing your mind, body, spirit in a world in which you are constantly getting pulled in different directions. And sometimes it can be hard to prioritize your sacred being, which is your mind, body, spirit. And so here at Kaii, we try to help provide you with tools, different strategies that you can do to really prioritize yourself, because we only have one temple, we only have one body on this earth, and so it's important for us to take care of it as much and do as much good to it as we can, so that way it can serve us a nice length of time. So Tea with Kaii, this is something that I started a little while ago, and it's just an opportunity to have a conversation about a couple different topics that all revolve around prioritizing mind, body, spirit. So today's topic, or this evening's topic, I should say, is the art of self-mastery. Now, I won't be on for too long because it is late. I know I came on late. I'm cutting it short already, but I have a very busy day tomorrow, so I want to make sure that I get enough rest, so that way I can be as productive as possible. In saying that, I wanted to let you guys know before I kind of jump into our conversation this evening. Right now, going on is the JS Mind, Body, Soul 60-Day Challenge. Now, what is that? Well, it is a 60-day challenge that is taking place in the Journey to the Self Facebook group. Now, that's a Facebook group that I created a few months ago, and it's growing, and I love the community that we are building in that group. And so right now we have a challenge going on, and the challenge is for the 60-day period, you have to make a commitment. And the commitment, again, revolves around prioritizing mind, body, spirit. So participants, which we have several, so if you're interested, you got to join the group. And to join the group, just click the link in my bio and you can join the 60-day challenge. So what we're doing over this period, one, you have to commit to working out at least twice a week. The other commitment is drinking a gallon of water a day. However, if your doctor's like, don't do that, if your body's like, I can't consume that, it's way too much, your goal is to increase your water intake. Many of us are walking around dehydrated. So the goal is to really increase our water intake. Our body needs that type of nourishment. So you want to make sure that you're doing that in a safe way. So if you're doing the gallon of water a day, awesome. If you're like, listen, I can't drink that much water because of some health reasons, don't do it. But you definitely want to see where can you challenge yourself so that way you can increase your water intake. The other thing is meditation. So the challenge is to meditate at least 5 minutes every day over the 60-day period. And also creating whatever your healthy diet looks like. Maybe it's, I'm going to cut out sugars Monday through Friday. Commit to that. Maybe it's I'm going to eat vegetarian dishes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesday, Thursday, I'll have whatever type of meat dish. It won't be fried though, it'll be baked or grilled. So it's up to you to kind of create that type of meal plan that works best for you. So the goal was to make something flexible, but also that you would be able to participate in the challenge. So to learn more about the challenge, it's all over my Instagram page. You can still join, and you can also find, go to Facebook, I'm talking about my podcast, the Journey to the Self Facebook group, and you can join the challenge, and it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. People are posting pictures. They're posting pictures of them working out, their water intake, what they're eating. Some folks are reading. There's books. They wanted to start reading more. So it's really making a challenge that helps to better who you are. And I just want to say before we jump into our topic tonight, during this period, during the last part of the year, this is a very important time. So I think is this Mark? I think Mark is actually in our challenge. I just got through talking about the challenge, the 60-day challenge that we're doing. But this is a great time for you to begin to prepare for next year. You don't want to prepare for next year, right? So when January comes around, you want to say, okay, now I'm going to set myself up for success. Setting yourself up for success happens right now. So this challenge that we're doing, that's preparing us to really begin to change how we take care of our body. And through this 60-day process, it's not that after the 60 days, we kind of go back to what we were doing before, but it's like, okay, now I've developed a new routine, a new lifestyle, and this is what I'm bringing into 2022. I'm not, because I kind of think of it as if you wait till January to begin to make changes, then you're kind of making changes in the middle of a game. And and now you're preparing, you're in the middle of the game, like, okay, what's the run we're supposed to do? What's the route? Oh, what are we doing right now? It's like, you don't want to do that in the middle of a game. You want to prepare before a game. And so that's what this is allowing us to do, participating right now in the challenge. So I spoke enough about the challenge. So if you want to learn more, just check out my Instagram page. There's a lot of information there, but also hit the link in my bio and you can join. And it's a great community, a great group, and you'll have a lot of fun and you'll be getting healthy along the way. So what better way to do that? All right, so now we're going to jump into our topic today. So usually I have tea. I don't have tea today. Why don't I have tea? I have water because I'm trying to fulfill my gallon of water a day. So I'll be sipping this throughout the video to make sure that I get my full gallon in. I'm committed. All right. So with that being said, we're looking at the art of self-mastery. And if you've heard the term self-mastery, you can just put a note in the comment section if that's something that you heard of, and kind of what does that mean to you? And so when we're thinking about that, and this is something I've been thinking about as I work to build a business coming out of my previous life, world of politics, now going into this entrepreneur life, what does it mean to have self-mastery? And to me, it means to have a very deep understanding of self. And when you have that deep understanding of self, it means that you know your strengths, right? You have an awareness of your strengths and you have awareness of your weaknesses. And I think that's so important, especially in a society that we live in now, that we know what we're good at and what we're not good at. And I would say that we're kind of like in this space, again, as a society in which it's like, you don't want to tell anybody they're not good at something because that may hurt their feelings. We're in a very feeling type of society. And in my opinion, when you're in that type of society, can you really grow? If everything is just kind of like the feels and someone will get mad and you don't want to challenge this, you don't want to challenge that because somebody will get upset and someone will get hurt. And I'm not saying that you go out and do something that is detrimental. You always want to make sure that your actions are constructive. But if you're not being questioned, if you're not being forced to grow, does that help you on your journey to self-mastery? So if everybody says that everything I do is great and I have no flaws and I'm perfect the way I am, why change? And so that means that that's going to affect my relationships and that I will never own issues that I could have brought into a relationship, because I would always say, well, that's because it's somebody else, because I'm perfect the way I am. And we know that we're not perfect. We all have flaws and we all have areas that we need to work through. So taking a look at self-mastery, first we're looking at understanding what are the areas in our lives that we need to work through, that we need to change. But when you're looking at these areas, it's not in a way in which you're condemning yourself, right? That you're like, oh, you're stupid that you're continuing to make these errors. It's looking yourself through an eyes of, okay, this is the area I need to work on. Now let me put a plan together so that I can make those changes. And that's exactly what we're doing in this 60-day challenge, right? We're saying, okay, I realize that maybe I'm not taking care of my health. I need to improve this area. So let's put a plan together. What's my plan? Am I going to be working out? If so, how long am I going to be working out? What are the type of exercises that I'm going to do? Okay, I'm not drinking enough water, which is affecting my sleep, which is affecting my mood, right? Maybe I'm having all these cravings. So I'm beginning, okay, let's put a plan in place. I'm going to increase my water intake. Maybe that means drinking a liter of water a day. And that's it, right? So when you realize where your weaknesses are, you can begin to address them. But if you are kind of, like I said, we're in this society with a lot of feels and everybody's perfect the way they are, and, don't say anything or you're going to hurt someone's feelings, then that really stunts your growth. Because what is challenging you to be better, to do better? And we've all come to this earth to have an experience and to grow and to change. But if you're being told that everything is fine the way you are, then are you growing? Are you changing? And if I'm not investing in myself to make improvements, am I going to really add value to my family, to society, the world around me? Like, if I'm walking around perfect and I don't have no issues and it's everybody else, I'm not going to add value to society. I'm not going to add value to my community. I'm not going to add value to my family. So it's self-mastery. It's looking at areas that we need to work on, that we need to strengthen, that we need to improve, and that enhances your life, but it also enhances the lives of the people around you. Now, granted, some people may not like the new person you're becoming as you begin to invest in yourself and make changes and evolve, and that's okay, right? But that may be something that they need to work through, because many times when you begin to make changes to your life and you begin to work on those areas of weakness, sometimes we can be a mirror to others, and that can make people feel uncomfortable that refuse to change. So that's not your responsibility. And I will tell you this, on this journey of self-mastery, you will be so busy working on you, you won't have time to worry about somebody else. You will have enough stuff within your own life to be working through than to be concerned with somebody else. And also, when you realize what areas that you need to work on, that helps that people cannot take advantage of you. And what does that mean? When I was in the workplace, in my world of politics, my weakness is I was a people pleaser, right? If somebody was upset with me, I had to figure out why they were upset with me and I had to make it right. Many times I would get hard on myself about something that wasn't even my issue. It wasn't my responsibility, but I felt bad for some reason. I felt connected to it, and I would make myself feel bad. If I wasn't feeling bad, I'm like, why aren't you feeling bad? You got to feel bad about this. People will take advantage of that. This is why it's so important to know what your weaknesses are, areas you need to improve on your self-mastery journey. Because if people notice that, it's all you got to do is tell this person that you're upset with them and you got them in the palm of your hand and you can control and manipulate any situation, that is dangerous, right? Because you can find yourself in relationships, you can find yourselves in jobs that are extremely toxic. But when I realized, like, wait a second, so I definitely have an issue with people pleasing, and I got to figure out where that comes from, and I got to work through it. So sometimes, setting up those boundaries of saying no, walking away, removing myself from situations, it was uncomfortable, but it's something that had to be done because that was part of mastering myself. Because honestly, it had nothing to do, for the most part, with that person. It had to do with this need of being validated by someone else. And so when you're on that journey, you're discovering who you are, you're beginning to work through your weaknesses and strengths. Like, okay, so why do I need to be validated by somebody? Who told me that I need somebody else to approve of myself? Again, and this is if you are living in a constructive manner, right? So these are concepts just to think about What are areas that you need to begin to work on to address on your journey to mastering self? Because once you master yourself, you can master everything else. Once you can deal with this, all of what you are, you can handle anything, right? And I think about this, right? So right now, I'm going to keep referring to the 60-day challenge, not only because I think you should join it, but you should, but also because there's an element of self-mastery. So for me, again, I'm this person that is working to build a business. And that takes a lot of discipline, right? I'm not clocking in for someone, I'm not responsible for clocking in. If I decide not to post on social media, if I decide not to do research, then that's only hurting me, right? So I was like, you know what? I need to challenge myself more. But how can I do that? So what I challenge myself within the 60-day challenge is that I have to work out twice a day. So my workouts include Monday, Wednesdays. I do cardio and toning. And then in the morning on those days, I practice yin yoga for an hour. So I wake up early. To me, this is early. It's about 5:30, 5:45 that I wake up to practice my yin yoga. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I practice a power flow yoga. And then I also do like a yin variation. And depending on how sore I am, I'll do another power yoga mixed with yin or flexibility in yin. But basically, I'm working out every single day, twice a day. And so I was like, you know what? I want to see if I have the discipline to do this. And I will say that since really pushing myself to do this, I have found that, in other areas, I'm more focused. In more areas of my business, more focused, kind of drilling down to what I need to do to be more precise. So I know at the end of this 60 days that I'm going to definitely see a transformation, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because on this journey of working out, changing my diet, being disciplined, like, nope, you said you're going to only eat X, Y, and Z Monday through Saturday or Monday through Sunday. So this is what you're going to be doing. That comes with discipline. So therefore, areas in my life that I'm not disciplined, that's a weakness. And through this 60 days, I'm working on challenging myself to work through those weaknesses. And so one thing that I had a very bad habit of doing, this is a pattern of behavior, and I do talk about that often, a pattern behavior of starting and stop, starting and stop, starting and stop. And I was like, if you want to be a successful business person, you can't start and stop. You got to see everything through. So that is a weakness that I had. And that is something that I have to work through. And that's a part of my 60-day challenge that I'm working through of no more starting and stopping. Complete whatever assignment, whatever project that you have to do. It has to be completed. So that's the weakness part. Right? And then you have your strengths. There are areas that you're great at. There's areas that it's like, listen, I can do this in my sleep. And that should be celebrated. But the thing about self-mastery is you begin to learn how to balance both. The weaknesses and the strength. Because if we get too much into our strengths, we could just kind of walk around like we're hot stuff. And again, like, oh, I'm good. I'm mastering everything. And then people are around you that are seeing what you're doing. Like, actually, you're not. You're just a narcissist. So you want the part of self-mastery is beginning to balance the two. And why is it balance? In our body always wants to come to a space of homeostasis, a place of balance. So right there, that tells you that our body needs to have when you have internal balance, you have internal flow. So you'll always have weaknesses, right? And you'll always have strengths. And that's what keeps you balanced. There will never come a point where you're like, you know what? I have conquered all my weaknesses. there always will be something that you will still have to work through. And the beauty of this life experience is that you have an opportunity to work through those, right? So that way, so you're going to always have new experiences and new opportunities for you to overcome different challenges. And all this time you're beginning to master who you are. And how do you know how far you've come? Just take a look back on where you were. So for those listening, especially that are participating in the 60-day challenge, and I did say for you to take a picture, maybe every 2 weeks. If you want to take it every day, some people are taking pictures daily, that's fine. But take a picture so you can see the change. And it's not just the physical change of losing weight. You will see a change in your face and your demeanor as you begin to work through those different areas that you need to begin to take control of and better manage in your life. So I just wanted to get on here really quick. I think I'm going to do an extended video on the art of self-mastery, but because I came on late and I got to get up early, I got to listen to my body and I got to finish my water. But I will be having a more in-depth conversation on the art of self-mastery, working through weaknesses, working through, and also understanding our strengths and how to celebrate those, but also how to keep balance, because that is extremely important. How to set up boundaries. All of that falls underneath self-mastery, and also understanding your view of self, because that's extremely important when you're on your journey of self-mastery. So I will be doing another, a part 2 of this very soon, and I will make sure that I will post so that way you'll be able to join me for that live conversation. So I hope that you found this abbreviated version helpful, and please make sure that you visit my Facebook page, and you can just hit the link in my bio and you can join the Journey to Self Facebook group. So you guys have a fabulous night, and I will check in with you soon. Bye.